भानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So, who wants to recite the first three shlokas of the first chapter? Please raise your hand. One person who has not yet recited it from a long time, maybe. Somebody who has not yet recited but wants to recite. Yes, Kusum Mataji, you will recite?
Yes,
Kusum
Mataji.
Mataji, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्मादस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतस् चार्तिष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूर्यः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्म प्रोजित कैतवोत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदम् तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुने कृते किं वा पररीश्वरा सद्यो हृदयवरुध्यते कृतभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलम् शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुर्मुहुः रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Mataji, you're muted.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Very nicely recited, very sweet voice. Let us start with today's session. So we are on the 8th chapter now. Kunti Maharani's prayers will be there in this chapter. And we have already completed 4 shlokas. So we will be starting with shloka number 5. If somebody wants to, just recollect what has happened in the 4 shlokas, yes, Sindhu Mataji, please you can proceed.
Yes, Mataji. I'll just say 2 points and then others can continue, Mataji. Yesterday we saw how the Pandavas were doing the last rites of this one, Mataji, the soul, departed soul, Ashwatthama, this thing. And
not for Ashwatthama, Mataji.
No,
They were prefer after
Yeah,
Ashwatthama
the
was
members,
punished.
members of the battlefield. Yeah, members who had left in the battlefield, and then Krishna's pacifying everyone. Like they were all overwhelmed with grief.
Yes.
So yeah, and so they were pacifying. And then one more point is everyone are lamenting and Krishna is pacifying. All of them have written.
Yes.
And then in the last sloka, we saw the human form of life. Yeah, how to console when someone leaves. How to, so
Okay.
only with the knowledge of the Vedic scriptures we can do that,
Yes.
Not
Correct.
any other means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Mataji. So now, today, let us move ahead. What happens later? So we saw the sequence of events that happened after the Kurukshetra war is over. Yeah, Ashwatthama kills the sleeping sons of Draupadi, and then Arjuna chases Ashwatthama. He captures Ashwatthama, brings him back to the area where everybody was there. And then Draupadi asks them to just forgive Ashwatthama for whatever he has done. Then Krishna gives a hint to just remove that, the money on his head, cut his hair and remove the money and then send him. So it is an insult for a Brahmana is as good as death. So Ashwatthama is kicked off the tent where they were present. And after that, we saw that the Pandavas go to the Ganges and offer their respects to all those who had been killed in the battlefield, all the near and dear ones. And then now Krishna is guiding them, giving them instructions. And in this chapter, we'll see now that Krishna wants to go back to Dwarka, and what happens in the sequence. So yes, please raise your hands to read shloka and translation, up to translation, one person, and then one for purport. Two people for purport. This purport is a little big. Please raise your hands. Okay, anybody other than Sindhu Mataji doesn't want to read? Because she has just done the revision. So maybe somebody else. After some time, maybe Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, I'll come back to you for a recitation. Okay?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Deval Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji?
So there were devotees who were not recite even a single time, Mataji.
Yeah,
So
but we can just request them to come.
Shailaja Mataji.
Okay. Whether Shailaja Mataji, you want to come ahead and recite, is it okay for you?
So she is not responding.
Yeah.
And then Rakesh Krishnappa.
Rakesh Prabhuji, will you like to recite the shloka? The intention here is that, everybody should chant the names of Krishna, glories of Krishna, anything related to Bhagavatam. Every verse is so melodious and so important.
And
So,
then Swati Mataji. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Please recite.
Okay.
Yeah, Mataji, we are just waiting for somebody who has never recited. Otherwise, we can, continue with you.
Swati Mataji, are you?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please go ahead, Mataji. Why you are
Mataji,
not?
will you please recite?
Should I read shloka?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Start in trouble.
It is all right. You please start it.
Yes, Prabhuji. साध्ययित्वा जता शत्रो मम राज्यं कीटवैर्हृतं घटाविवसतो राजनै कचास्पर्श कष्टायुषाः
Shatayusha. Okay.
शतायुषाः.
Please read the translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
No, Mataji, we'll wait for 2 minutes. I want to discuss something, then we'll go for purport. Thank you, Mataji. So, here actually it is said clever Duryodhana. It actually means cunning Duryodhana. So he was very clever in doing all the wrong things. Yeah, he was very expert in, in Bhagavad Gita, we have seen that there are 6 type of atatai. Yeah, 6 type of people who do people who can do 6 type of wrong to the people in general. Yeah, somebody remembers that? What are the 6 wrongdoings for which a person should not be forgiven? Anybody? Atatai. Atatai means one who gives some sort of trouble to others.
Aggressors, Mataji.
Sorry?
Poison
Aggressors.
giver.
You're saying aggressors, yeah.
Aggressors, yes.
Aggression,
One
yeah.
who gives poison,
Aggressor. Yeah.
one who gives poison, and one who usurps the land, the wealth, one who kidnaps another's wife, one who attacks with lethal weapon,
And poison.
and one who plunders the riches. Yeah.
Yeah. Plunders the richest. Yeah, so
Fire.
there are 6 type of aggressors, and Duryodhana was every one of them. Yeah, he had done all the 6 type of wrongdoings to the Pandavas. Therefore, naturally, he was a person who had to be punished. And such Duryodhana, who was so cunning, he has taken away with wrong mechanisms. He had taken away the land of the rightful land of the Pandavas. Is it not? And here, Yudhishthir Maharaj is said as Ajata Shatru. Sadhyayitva Ajata Shatruho. Ajata Shatru means one who has no enemies. That means he does not consider anybody as enemy. Now, actually, Yudhishthir Maharaj was the biggest enemy of Duryodhana. Duryodhana always saw Yudhishthir Maharaj as his enemy, and that is also the greatest enemy. But why then, if he had an enemy, Duryodhana, as Yudhishthir Maharaj, still Yudhishthir Maharaj is called as Ajata Shatru. That means a person who does not have any enemy. Why is it so? Because though Duryodhana was thinking Yudhishthir Maharaj as his enemy, but Yudhishthir Maharaj, till the end of the battle, he never thought Duryodhana as his enemy. He always took Duryodhana as his younger brother, as a younger brother who is misled by his desires. Okay, so he was doing the war only to punish him. The intention was not to consider Duryodhana as his enemy. So Yudhishthir Maharaj never had any enemy. So for such a great person like Yudhishthir Maharaj, who was so humble and who was so caretaking, if he was loving each and every individual from his kingdom, for that, with that good person also, Duryodhana had so many misdealings, had so many plans, and so many ways he tried to harm the Pandavas. And also, so there it is said, the clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. Okay, by the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, because by the grace of the Lord, the war was fought and they got back their own kingdom. And the unscrupulous kings means who? The cunning kings, the equally cunning kings who supported Duryodhana, who joined with Duryodhana, were killed in the war. And after that, what is mentioned over here, that is more important from the perspective of this shloka, others also died, their duration of the life having decreased by their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. And to explain this point, because the others also were killed, others also died. Who were these others? Like Bhishma Pitama. They were never the enemies. They were always respected by the Pandavas, but they were also killed. Bhishma Pitama was there, and even Dronacharya was there. These people, they were present in the Sabhagraha, in the place where Draupadi was disrobed. And they never tried to, stop Duryodhana for his wrongdoing. And such people who knowingly or unknowingly helped Duryodhana in the wrongdoing, they were also killed. So this point is stressed very nicely. He explained very nicely by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. So let us read the purport. One by one point we will read and discuss a little bit about the points. So the first 3 points can be read by one Mataji or Prabhuji, and then later will be read by somebody else. Please raise your hands for that. I think Shanmukha Mataji wanted to read. Yes, somebody who said. Who is that?
Yeah, Jigisha Sharma.
Okay, Jigisha Mataji. Read up to the 3rd, but we'll go one by one. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the glorious days, or before the advent of the age of Kali, the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men were properly given protection. First, the protection of the Brahmanas maintains the institution of Varna and Ashram, the most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual life.
Yes, let
Second,
us
the
discuss about
protection.
this. No, Mataji will discuss one by one. You can read up to the third, but after I finish about the first.
Oh,
Okay.
the protection. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll speak a little bit about protection of the Brahmanas, then we can go ahead. So because these people in the kingdom of Duryodhana, they did not protect Draupadi. She was the rightful person to get protection. Therefore, here Prabhupada is stressing upon the 5 type of people who should always be protected. They were protected before the advent of Kali, but as and now when the Kali Yuga started progressing, the protection of these 5 categories of people has decreased. We are not taking care of these people. So does it mean the others should not be taken care? Like here it is said about the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men. But people other than them, yes, people in general, the men, yes, they should also be taken care. The plants, animals, yes, they should be taken care. The trees, the rocks, the entire kingdom, yes, everything should be protected. But more specifically, a special care has to be given to these 5 type of people. Why? That is being discussed over here. So first point comes about the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas should be specially protected. Do you know the 5 things that the Brahmanas should do? The 4 thing, 5, 6, what are the activities of the Brahmana? What should a Brahmana perform? First is Yajan. And second is Yajan. Yajan means what? Performing Yagya, performing sacrifices. Yajan means getting the sacrifices done by the host. Yeah, he will chant the mantras and the kings will perform the sacrifices. Is it not? So Yajan. Next is Pathan and Pathan. He should recite the Vedic hymns. Pathan. And Pathan means what? He should make others also recite the Vedic hymns. Yeah, that is his duty. And Dan and Pratigraha. Dan means what? Accepting donation. Because Brahmanas are completely dependent on the donations only. So he should accept the donation. And Pratigraha means what? A Brahmana is supposed to keep only as much required for his daily usage. He should not, create a bank balance and whatever he's getting, keep on storing. He will be having 2-3 flats, 2-3 goshalas and farms and farmhouses. No, a Brahmana is not supposed to do that. Whatever is required for his day-to-day life, that he should keep. And if he's getting something extra, he should pratigraha. He should give it to the needy people. These are the 5 activities. These are the 5 things a Brahmana always does. An actual Brahmana always does. So if such a person who is performing rituals, who is performing sacrifices, who is teaching people, who is giving, sharing the knowledge, he is considered as the head of the society. Is it not? Brahmana is the head of the society. And if the Brahmanas are not protected, then all these activities will stop if the Brahmanas are killed. Right? No more sacrifices will be there. People will not get well educated. Yeah. And because they are helping the poor people also, they will also not get help from the Brahmanas. So ultimately, the Brahmanas has to be protected. So it is the need of actually in need of every yuga. Yeah? More specifically in Kali Yuga, it is needed. Because in Kali Yuga, the most fallen people are there in this Kali Yuga, right? So the need of Brahmanas is more now rather than any other yuga. So therefore, Brahmanas has to be protected. Yes, Mataji. Read the second point, Mataji.
Yeah. The protection of cows maintains the most miraculous form of food, that is milk, for maintaining the finer tissues of the brain, for understanding higher aims of life.
Yeah. So cow is called a mother, right? She's our mother. Mother has to be protected. Is there any other doubt in that? No, right? We say, why only cows? Somebody will say, no, why not buffaloes? So buffalo will also give milk. Even in fact, the milk of buffalo is more thicker than the milk of cow. Is it not? The cow's milk is little thin as compared to the buffalo milk. There is goat milk also. There is camel milk also. There are so many types of milk. Then why cows? Because we know she's so much sacred to us. First of all, she is a mother to us, to each and every living being. only the darshan of a cow can, eradicate our sins. Yeah. Circumambulating the cow. Many people just go below the cow, they cross the cow from her between her forelegs. These all things, they just eradicate our sins. Yeah. Drinking milk, cow's milk, yes, it develops the brain. It is always recommended for very young children after they stop drinking their mother's milk that they should be fed with cow's milk rather than any other milk, because that is how they are going to get their brain developed. They will become very intellectual. Yeah, even cow dung, cow urine, all these things. So therefore, protecting of cows is ultimately very, very necessary, because that is the way we are going to create a very healthy and a stable human race. Yeah, so therefore, protection of cows is also very necessary. Yes, third point, Mataji.
The protection of women maintains the chastity of society,
Mhm.
by which we can get a good generation for peace, tranquility, and progress of life. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Yes, naturally. See, why it is always mentioned that women should be protected. Women should be protected. What do we usually protect? Two things. Something that is very precious, we need always try to protect. And the second thing, one which is very delicate. Yeah, whether it is a diamond, which is very precious, or whether there is a glass item, yeah, a bowl, glass bowl. Yeah, we tend to protect it more than protecting some iron rod, is it not? So the men in the society are just like the iron rod, and the women in the society are like the fragile iron, or fragile glass, or a very precious diamond. And these things, many times women do argue that we are equal with men. Yeah, we can intellectually perform whatever task men can do. Nowadays, they are there in even armies. Yeah, women are becoming pilots. Women are in every field or every work and field of life. They are present over there. Naturally, it is there. That is appreciated. But does it mean that they no more require protection? No. Women are always beautiful, attractive, and delicate, is it not? So beautiful thing attracts people. Anybody else they will attract. They are very attractive. Naturally, people get attracted and they try to misuse the woman. We have seen so many examples. So that is why protection of the woman is very much necessary. If women are not protected, then there will be something called as Varna Sankara. We know that. Yeah, Jayate Varna Sankara. It's the shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. If women are not protected, unwanted progeny will be developed. And these unwanted progeny will never have those qualities which will be there from the progeny of a chaste woman. Right? When the woman is chaste, all the good qualities will be there in the offsprings also. But if women are not protected, whatever unwanted progeny is created, they tend to have the bad qualities. They tend to lack, the spiritual connection, or they will tend to lack the good qualities of the human beings. Therefore, it is a need of the time, in every time, that the woman should be protected. Yes, now next, 4, 5, and the remaining part of the purport. Madhavi Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
4. The protection of child gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Such protection of children begins from a very day of begetting a child by the purificatory process of Garbhadhana Samskara, the beginning of pure life.
Yeah, please
5.
wait. Yeah? Please wait for 2 minutes. Yeah, so this is the good example why children should be protected. Fortunately, by God's grace, the small child is reading our purport. Because when the children are protected, right from the before the birth, even when they are in the womb of a mother, yeah, they should be given the samskaras, they should be given the good values, they should be, that is why we recommend that when a lady, even before becoming pregnant, she should start chanting the names of Lord. She should start reading the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. She should start taking association of the devotees. So all these things are going to, nurture the child, and the offspring which is born, that child will be, the quality of the children will be what we can see from the child who is reading the purport. Yeah. So children, naturally, they are our future. They are the people, they are the persons who are going to, transfer the spiritual cult in the next generation. Therefore, they should be protected. If children are not protected, they will not have these samskaras, and most probably they will try to, deviate from the path of spiritual life, and they will inculcate all the bad habits. Therefore, children also have to be protected. Yes, beta, please read the fifth one.
Okay, Mataji. 5. The protection of the old men gives them a chance to prepare themselves for better life after death.
Yes, but so protection of the old people. Why is it required? Because they have the highest, the longest experience of their life, right? All the good and bad experiences are gained by the old people. So the transfer of these experiences will happen only by the old generation. Even the good values, the samskaras which we are talking about, they can only be checked by the old generation. Whether the people in the house are doing something good, bad, correct, wrong, that has to be checked by the elderly people in the house. Therefore, protecting these elderly people so that the entire family, each and every family is like, they are having a pious atmosphere, and they will all be going on the right track. Therefore, the old people has to be also protected. Yes. Finish it off. Read the final paragraph, please.
This complete outlook is based on factors leading to successful humanity as against the civilization of polished cats and dogs. The killing of the above mentioned innocent creatures is totally forbidden because even by insulting them, one loses one's duration of life. In the age of Kali, they are not in the age of Kali, they are not properly protected, and therefore the duration of life of the present generation has shortened considerably. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that when the women become unchaste for want of proper protection, there are unwanted children called Varna Shankara. To insult a chaste woman means to bring about a disaster in the duration of life. The Dushasana, a brother of Duryodhana, insulted Draupadi, an idle chaste lady, and therefore the miscreants died untimely. These are some of the stringent laws of the Lord mentioned above. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare
What is your
Krishna.
name? What is your name?
Agastya. My name is Agastya.
Sorry, Agastya.
Agastya.
Oh, very nice. Hari Bol. One big Hari Bol to Agastya. Agastya Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much.
Hari bol.
Mataji.
Hari bol. Hari bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prita. Okay, so this we have already explained. Yeah, how why all those categories of people should be protected. Let us go to the next shloka. Please raise your hands for reading the shloka now. So we are not going to get anybody who has not yet read any time. So please, anybody can raise the hands. Yes, Devil Mataji, please read shloka and translation.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. याजयित्वाश्वमेधैस्तं त्रिभिरुत्तमकल्पकैः तद्यशपावनं दिक्षु शतमन्योरिवातनोत्. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shri Krishna caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedha yajnas or sacrifices to be conducted by Maharaja Yudhishthira, and thus caused his various fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Purport, Sudha Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
This is something like the preface to the performances of Ashwamedha Yajna by Maharaja Yudhishthira. The comparison of Maharaja Yudhishthira to the king of heaven is significant.
The King of Heaven is thousands and thousands of times greater than Maharaja Yudhishthira in opulence. Yet the fame of Maharaja Yudhishthira was not less. The reason is that Maharaja Yudhishthira was a pure devotee of the Lord, and by his grace only was King Yudhishthira on the level of the King of Heaven, even though he performed 3 yajnas, whereas the King of Heaven performed hundreds. That is the prerogative of the devotee of the Lord. The Lord is equal to everyone, but a devotee of the Lord is more glorified because he is always in touch with all great. The sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are always dark. This is not due to the sun, but to the receptive power. Similarly, those who are 100% devotees of the Lord get the full-fledged mercy of the Lord, which is always equally distributed everywhere. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So here, very important, one more two lessons over here. First thing is that the mercy of the Lord. Here, the mercy of the Lord is compared to the rays of the sun. Why we feel that why Pandavas were so, fortunate to get the mercy of the Lord. So, Prabhupada tells here that the Lord is not, partial to anybody, to his devotees and not devotees, to the demigods and to the asuras. He is never partial. He is equal to everybody. Just like the sun. A sun does not say that I will only shower my sun rays on this particular house and I'm not going to shower the sun rays on this field and I'm going to very limitedly give the sun rays to this area. No, the sun always, shines and he always showers his sun rays to equally to the all parts of the world. But the receptive, who is receiving the sun rays, if that is not, not ready to receive the sun rays, the sun cannot help it out. So if it's, we feel that under a tree, the shade, somebody is sitting under the tree, he's not receiving the sun rays. So it is not that the sun is deciding, I don't want to shower my sun rays on this person who is sitting under the tree. But the person doesn't want to go in the sunlight and he's sitting under the tree, so he is not receiving the sun rays. Similarly, the mercy of the Lord is showered equally to everybody. But some people will take it, completely accept the complete mercy, whereas some people tend to reject the mercy of the Lord, thinking that this is not, such needed, or I don't believe in the Lord, or so many other arguments they give, and they reject the mercy of the Lord. So that way, we feel here, to some extent, it is correct that Pandavas received so much mercy of the Lord. So here in this shloka, it is told that with the help of the Lord, Yudhishthira Maharaj performed 3 Ashwamedha Yajna. So we know what is a Ashwamedha Yajna. We know that there is a horse which is sent to all directions of the entire world, and either the horse reaches to various kingdoms. Either the kingdom leaves the horse, let it pass by to the next kingdom and accept that, yes, Yudhishthira Maharaj is our king. We will rule our kingdom, but under his guidance. So he is the greatest king. They will accept. Otherwise, if they do not accept, they will catch hold of the horse. And Yudhishthira Maharaj used to send, or any king who is performing the Ashwamedha Yajna, the king has to send the army. There will be a war. And the person has to, that king has to, prove that I am more powerful than you. In this way, 3 times, Lord Sri Krishna performed Ashwamedha Yajnas for Yudhishthira Maharaj, and all the 3 times he was completely successful because the entire world had accepted Yudhishthira Maharaj as their king. So in one of the lectures which I was hearing, so it was explained in that Yudhishthira Maharaj had even went crossing the east. Maybe Arjuna or Bhima, somebody had crossed the east, and they reached even to many kingdoms after India. We feel that whenever they say the entire world, it is restricted to the country India, which is our current India, the boundary of India, but it is not like that. In the east also, they went ahead up to Bali, and there are temples in Bali which are the proofs that Yudhishthira Maharaj, Arjuna, Krishna had reached to their kingdom. So there is Parthasarthi temple is there in Bali, which has a very good, the idol of Sri Krishna and Arjuna. I don't know whether it is a worshipable idol or just worshipable deity, or it is just an idol placed in outside. I'm not very much sure, but the references are till there. Even that Prabhuji was telling that Australia. So it is the word Australia. Yeah. So it is not actually Australia. So it is Australia. Australia. So Astralaya means what? A place where they test different astras, the weapons. So where the Australia was the place where Yudhishthir Maharaj tested his different weapons, the weapons to be used in different wars. So he had his reach up to even Australia, and there it was actually Astralaya. That means the place where testing of the weapons is done. And gradually later that name changed to Australia. So see till what all he, therefore he was he has actually conquered the entire world. That was the power of Yudhishthir Maharaj. And so therefore here it is said that Lord Sri Krishna caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedh Yagyas to be conducted by Maharaj Yudhishthir, and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra. Here he compares the fame of Yudhishthir Maharaj to the fame of Indra. So he was more famous than Indra also. So Indra had already performed hundreds of yagyas. But we know the incidents of Arjuna where he goes to the Swargaloka and brings the weapons from the different demigods. And in that incident, even he sits on Indra's throne. Yeah, and he helps Indra to conquer the various, asuras who were disturbing the demigods. So Arjuna as well as Yudhishthir Maharaj were more powerful even than Indra. So here, yes, so this means that the Lord has mercy on everybody, but he showers more mercy. We feel that he is showering more mercy to the devotees who have accepted his supremacy and who has considered themselves as the servants of the Lord. Okay, let us go to the next shloka. We have still more 2-3 shlokas to be completed. Archana Mataji, you can read the shloka and translation. Purport can be read by Kusum Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji.
Yes.
Amandriya Panduputrancha Sainyoddhava Samyuta Dvaipayanadhibhir Viprai Pujita Pradipujita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandu after having been worshipped by the Brahmanas headed by Srila Vyasadeva. The Lord also reciprocated greetings. Hare Krishna.
Purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Apparently, Lord Shri Krishna was Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmins. But the Brahmanas present there, headed by Srila Vyasadeva, all knew him to be the personality of Godhead, and therefore they worshipped him. The Lord reciprocated the greetings just to honor the social order that a Kshatriya is obedient to the orders of Brahmanas. Although Lord Shri Krishna was always offered the respects due to Supreme Lord from all responsible quarters, the Lord never deviated from the customary usages between the 4 orders of society. The Lord purposely observed all these social customs so that others would follow him in the future. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much. So the Lord purposely observed these social customs. So the various Brahmanas headed by Srila Vyasadeva, when Krishna decided to leave Hastinapur and go back to Dwarka, so he took permission from the great Brahmanas over there, and Vyasadeva and all the other Brahmanas, they worshipped. Sorry, just 1 minute, please. How should I remove this? Okay. I'll just stop share and again reshare so that that annotation will go off. Yeah. So what the point is that the Srila Vyasadeva and the other Brahmanas, they worshipped Lord Sri Krishna because they knew that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and now they were not going to receive his darshan, receive his association for a long time. So they all worshipped him, bade him farewell, basically. And the Lord also reciprocated back with again worshipping back the Brahmanas, because Brahmanas are on the higher level than the Kshatriyas, and Lord Sri Krishna by his, in that particular avatar, he was playing the role of a worship of a kshatriya. So naturally, he reverted back. He reciprocated the greetings by reciprocated the brahmanas by worshipping them back. And this last line of the purport, it mentions that the Lord purposely observed all these social customs so that others would follow him in the future. Does anybody remember any shloka from Bhagavad Gita related to this particular line?
Yadyati ajarati shrestha.
Yes, thank you, Mata. Yes, please recite it complete if you remember. Yadyat acharati shreshthas tattat evetaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. The people, the common people will follow what the leaders are going to do. So if Krishna wants the others to follow him, he has to, demonstrate what a king should do. When a Brahmana is worshipping the king should in reciprocation offer his respects. If he will do that, then when a Brahmana will come in front of the other people in general, they will also worship the Brahmanas. Otherwise, the same thing will happen, which was explained in the first shloka, that Brahmanas will no more be respected or protected. So to protect the Brahmanas, to respect the Brahmanas, he showed this particular act, by his act. Yes, let us go to the next. Who wants to read? Please raise your hands quickly. Sindhu Mataji, you can read this shloka because, people are not raising the hands
Yes,
quickly.
Mataji.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for others. I thought.
Yeah, please read, Mataji. We don't have that much time.
Okay. Shloka 8. Gantum kritamathirbhrahman द्वारकां रतमास्थितः उपलेभे अभिधावन्तीं उत्तरां भयविह्वलाम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka, he saw Uttara hurrying towards him in fear. Purport. It's small, Mataji, I'm reading.
Yeah, please read.
All the members of the family of the Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of the Lord, and therefore the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely on him is especially looked after by the Lord. The father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, so he was about to leave and he saw Uttara running towards him. What is the reason? Let us see. And because why was Uttara running towards Krishna? Because all the Pandavas were very much dependent on Krishna. They knew that Krishna is the only one who can protect them from all the sorts of dangers. So she was hurrying towards him. Shanmuga Priya Mataji, you can read the shloka and translation. Purport maybe is Padma Mataji, you can read purport.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji,
Can you see?
yes, Mataji. 7th sloka or 8th sloka?
9th shloka, Mataji.
9th. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Uttravavacha bahi bahi
Pahi,
mahayogin de
Pahi, Pahi.
bahi 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 mahayogin deva deva jagatpade nanyam dham avaya apyam pashyayatra mrityu parasparam.
Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mysteries. Please protect me. For there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in the world of duality. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Padma Mataji, please read. Are you there, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Padma Mataji. Swati Mataji,
Shall
you
I
can read the
read the
next
purport
one.
now?
Purport, Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please read the purport. Can you hear me,
Hare
Mataji?
Krishna, Mataji. Am I audible?
Read. Padma Mataji, you are audible. Please read. No. Okay, Swati Mataji, please read.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Purport. This purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This material world is a world of duality in contrast with the oneness of the absolute realm. The world of duality is composed of matter and spirit, where whereas the absolute world is complete spirit without any tinge of material qualities. In the dual world, everyone is falsely trying to become the master of the world, whereas in the absolute world, the Lord is the absolute Lord, and all others are his absolute servitors. In the world of duality, everyone is envious of all others, and death is inevitable due to the dual existence of matter and spirit. The Lord is the only shelter of fearless for the surrendered soul. One cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself at the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So one cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Lord. Uttara knew this very well. If I want to get rid of this death situation which has come in my life right now, I need to take shelter of the Lord. Then only I will be protected from this death. So the point here is, Uttara was a great devotee of the Lord. Her husband Abhimanyu was a great devotee. Her father-in-law Arjun was the greatest devotee of the Lord. And the devotee of the Lord understands that death is, this life, this body is temporary. Yeah. And death is inevitable. Someday I have to die. But still Uttara was asking for protection from the death. So is it correct or not correct? So the answer we get in the next shloka, which will come. But yes, it was correct that she wanted to avoid this death situation which has come in her life. And she says that, "O Lord of the Lords, you are the greatest of mystics. So who can protect? Lord Sri Krishna was a person who could do anything. That's why she calls him as a mystic. Nothing is impossible for you. Yeah, you will just, chutki baja ke, you can just do any of the undoable things. So she says, only you can protect me from. So her all father-in-laws were there around. Yudhishthira, they are already come out to see of Lord Sri Krishna. So they all were there. Arjuna was there, Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, even all the others were there. But still Uttara is running towards Krishna and crying out for help. Because, yes, all of them knew that Krishna is the only one who can protect. So now you can make out, even if it is not mentioned specifically over here, can we not, imagine the intensity of the prayers what Uttara is doing? Yeah, she is so intensely crying out for help. Pahi Pahi Mahabhav. Yeah, what is she saying? Pahi Pahi Mahayogin. Deva Deva Jagatpate. Yeah, she says, oh, help me, oh my Lord, only you are the one who can help me. So what can we learn from this shloka? How she prayed? No. We can learn that how we should pray to the Lord. If you want, in whatever difficulty we are in, whether we are in difficulty or not, whenever we want to, grab the attention of the Lord, we have to just pray with complete intensity. Yeah, this is the way a prayer has to be offered. We'll learn very soon. Kunti Maharani's prayers will come. So wonderful and so deep prayers of Kunti Maharani will be there. From then, each and every prayer will learn how actually we should pray to the Lord. And this is just the beginning, what Uttara is speaking, right? So this entire chapter is a very prayerful, a way of surrendering to the Lord. If you want to just, grab the attention of the Lord, or just to make little bit progress in your spiritual life, this is the way you should pray to the Lord. That is our learning from this particular shloka. So one more point is that whenever we take darshan of the Lord, whenever we go to the temple, or even at our home, if the deities are there, or even if the photos are there, and whenever we are offering our obeisances, we should always, many times we just blankly recite, the mantras. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe. We just say it without, considering what is the meaning of that prayer. So we should always, whenever we are trying to take darshan, till the time we don't remember the, meanings of the shloka, rather than chanting the shlokas, we should make it a point to read the translations of the shloka in front of the Lord. We may take the book in our hand, read the translation. For example, if we are going to recite this particular prayer of Uttara, yeah. So instead of saying Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, we may not understand because these all prayers are in Sanskrit. What we should do, We should read the translation. O Lord of the Lords, O Lord of the universe, you are the greatest mystic. Please protect me. Please protect me. For there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death. So see, there is a difference when blankly reciting a shloka or with a complete heart, complete surrender, you are reading the translation of the sloka. So that is why beautiful translations are presented by Srila Prabhupada. So we should always take advantage of these translations. And till the time these shlokas, they get fixed in our mind, we should read the translations of the shlokas in front of the Lord also. Okay, last shloka for today. Let us take it quickly. Who will read?
Shall I, Mataji?
Ajay Kuntiya Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अभिद्रवति माम ईश सरस्तप्ता यशो विभो कामं दहतु मां नाथ मामे गर्भो निपात्यताम. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it warn me personally if you so desire, but please do not let it warn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord. Purport?
Yes, please read that. Read the purport also.
Yes. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This incident took place after the death of Abhimanyu, the husband of Uttara. Abhimanyu's widow, Uttara, should have followed the path of her husband. But because she was pregnant and Maharaja Parikshit, a great devotee of the Lord, was lying in embryo, she was responsible for his protection. The mother of a child has a great responsibility in giving all protection to the child, and therefore Uttara wasn't ashamed to express this frankly before Lord Krishna. Uttara was the daughter of a great king, the wife of a great hero, and student of a great devotee. And later, she was the mother of a good king also. She was fortunate in every respect. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much. So some of the purports, when I read some of the purports, it melts the heart. These feelings, so wonderfully, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned how a mother can go to any extent to protect the child. Yeah, she is saying in the last shloka, we were trying to understand why she was trying to avoid death. Is it not? So she was trying to avoid death because she was having Parikshit Maharaj in her womb. And it was her duty and it was her love for the child that she wanted to protect the child. So that is why she is saying, if you wish, you can kill me, but protect my embryo, protect my child. Yeah. So when we were small, we were told a story of a monkey. There is Akbar and Birbal kathas. So one very stupid katha was there. Sometimes they are so really, illogical stories. So where in the king asked Birbal, what is the greatest thing that a person will love in his life? So Birbal answers, it is his own life, right? And then Akbar says, how can you say that? A person will love more his child, not himself. Birbal says, I will prove it to you. So there is a dry pit, gadda hai, and then that dry pit, he just puts one mother monkey and her baby, and he starts pouring water into the pit. And Akbar and Birbal both are watching from above, and the water starts rising. So the monkey mother is very worried how to save the child. So Akbar says, see, she is so worried. She's jumping here and there. She wants to protect her child. So Birbal says, okay, let us see. And then more and more water is getting filled into the pit. The water reaches up to this level to the mother. She holds her child on her head. She decides to protecting. But as soon as the water comes to her nose and now no more she is being able to breathe, what does she do? She puts her child below her leg and stands on the child and tries to save herself. So what an illogical story. I felt it is that time we don't know what our reactions were, but now when I recollect the story, it feels so illogical. That mothers can never do like this. Uttara is the greatest example of this, that the Brahmastra is approaching her. Ashwathama has once again released the last Brahmastra to kill the last, the offspring of the Pandavas. He thought, now if the small baby is killed, the next generation of Pandavas will not be there at all. Yeah. So he tries to kill that particular baby also. And Uttara is saying, may that Brahmastra kill me. I don't mind. She's praying to the Lord that please protect my child from this. Yeah. So on this note, we all know how parents are, how mothers are. So you should always, look upon to the examples of such great devotees who are ready to give their own life for the sake of their children, for the sake of protecting the upcoming devotees. Yeah. So here we will stop. If you have any queries, any questions, we can have 2 minutes of discussion. Otherwise, we'll stop. So if there are no queries, let us stop. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Upasthit Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandat pranams.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.